All right, what's up, people? I'm really putting it to the test today. 2219. That's my slash out. I'm still wondering what's going to happen at the end. Will it reset? Will the matrix be reloaded? I have no fucking clue. What I'm about to give you today is truly a secret teaching. And this is not anything you're going to find anywhere. This is something that I'm showing you. You'll either get it or you won't. So, what I want to talk about is two concepts that are, in my opinion, not only connected, but extremely connected. So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lay out those two concepts. And the first one, coincidentally enough, comes from the Bible, from the book of Genesis, chapter 18, the latter part of that chapter. And this concerns the preamble to the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah, whatever. And I want you to keep all of what I'm saying in mind with regard to a lot of what's going on in the modern world, with regard to a lot of the stuff that I've kind of been putting out there in other videos and stuff like that. So basically, God comes down to talk to Abraham. And he basically tells him, look, I'm getting ready to rain down hellfire and brimstone. And Abraham's like, wait, what? Well, what if there were 50 righteous men? Would you spare the city for 50 righteous men? And God says, yeah, sure. But there aren't. Abraham said, well, what about 40? Sure, I'd spare it for the sake of 40. But there aren't. Well, okay, what about 30? And then eventually it gets whittled down. The last offer. This is Abraham bargaining with God. What about for only 10? Would you still spare it? And God says, yes. For the sake of 10 righteous, I would not destroy the city. Okay? So that's the first part of this. That's the 10 righteous men. Now the second, and what I'm going to show you is connected concept, actually comes from Indian philosophy / theology / esoteric history. It's something called the 9 unknown, or the 9 unknown men. And in this understanding, there are 9 individuals who preserve the world, who basically hold the world from, the gaping jaws of destruction. Now, we could go into that, except there's not a whole lot taught about it, because it is a very secret teaching. So what's the difference between 10 and 9? That's right. It's 1. So the world is always, and always has been, teetering on the edge of destruction. Now, when we talk about divine destruction and raining down, hellfire and brimstone and everything else, let's not get too dramatic about it. Let's think about, if you believe in something such as a God that is, I don't know, sovereign, or however you want to fucking phrase it. He works through mysterious means, which means he basically works through fucking nature to the point where you don't know that that's what's really going on. You think, oh, well, shit, it's just, I don't know. What are we going through right now? Oh, yeah, all that shit. All that naturalized shit. So there are the 9 pillars that they basically hold back the destruction of civilization. It's not necessarily a Buddhist teaching. It's more Hindu, but, they share commonality, I guess you could say. So you already have the 9. The 9 always exist. They're not necessarily immortal, but when one dies, a new one is reincarnated. Oh shit. Look at this. Oh, I have a funny story about this weekend. That's that bed. It's not popped. It's deflated. My son was carrying it upstairs because he had friends over, and he hit the chandelier with it. He hit the chandelier with it, knocked it off the fucking thing till it was hanging by an edge. So I had to put him on my shoulders, and he had to go reattach it. But we're standing on stairs, man. That was fun times. So I think what they did was they deflated it before bringing it back downstairs. It's funny. I don't know. I think we have some kind of fucking machine that blows it up. I don't know. I'd have to ask my wife. But the point being is that these 9 always exist, meaning we're always just in need of one more righteous person. Just one. To keep this world continuing the way it is. Or the way it should be. Towards the betterment. Towards everything that I've been fucking talking about in my entire philosophy. The wheel. Moving forward. And that's going to do that regardless. The only question is, are we about to get run under it because of our depravity? And when I say depravity, you know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm not trying to be a moralizer. Look, whatever the fuck you want to do it. Far be it from me to tell you how to live your fucking life. You know what I'm saying? However, there are things that are optimal and there are things that are suboptimal. And the sooner we figure that out, the better. Taking children and transforming them from boys into girls and girls into boys, taking children and sexualizing them. Look, sex is great for adults. Not so good for children. We have a word for that. Matter of fact, see my latest community post for a fucking that's right up the street from me. They even mentioned my daughter's high school in that fucking video, where they're basically promoting amongst 14 and 15-year-olds the idea of old men and young boys. Remember ancient Greece? Yeah, I know, right? Where are they? This is a cyclical problem. This happens to every fucking culture. There comes a point where the decadence of it all is self-destructive to a point. The 9 will always exist. The question is, who's going to be the 10th? Who's going to stand up? Now, of course, these are metaphors. Don't take this too literally because everybody's going to put their hand up. Oh, the 10th, I'm the 10th. I'll be the 10th. It doesn't work that way. It's like the 0.99's repeating. It doesn't necessarily work that way, but I think you get the concept of it. Is that there's always 9 provided. Meaning we've been given something beautiful in this world that we can take advantage of. Hunger, poverty, disease. These things are conveniences of something else going on. I know you're going to think I misspoke there. I did not. It's up to us to lace that final fucking bootstrap. Put that boot on, get up, and go get some shit done. Otherwise, fire and brimstone. Or COVID and masks and fucking transgenders and pedophilias and all the other bullshit that's going to tear us up from within inside with the anti-racism versus racism, with all these white Karens fucking preaching and bitching about how everybody needs to do the work and all that bullshit. To the point where we rip ourselves apart. before China comes in and fucking lays it all to waste. So seriously, think about that. Think about what your part is in this world and in everything. Like, do you want to see this whole thing ripped away from us? Because guess what? We're close. Because that 10th guy hasn't stood up yet. Again, it's a metaphor. And everybody wants to raise their hand and say it's you. It ain't you, bro. It's a percentage. It's a it's a number. It's not just one, but you get it. The wisdom teachings always teach by metaphor. So, where do you stand? Do you want to see it burn? Some people do. I know a lot of people want to see it burn. I'm almost in that camp, believe it or not. Make up your own mind.